All right, good morning and happy Wednesday. All right, well, we've got another full 15 game slate going here. What's going on, Alex? All right, so we're going to talk about each game. We'll go over yesterday's results. Not great. It was wow. Tell you what, I had picked my top 9 favorite games, and 8 of the 9 won. Unfortunately, the one that didn't absolutely screwed me. And that would be the Houston Astros, who out-hit the White Sox 7-2. White Sox had 2 hits, all by one player, meaning the rest of the 8 had 0 combined hits. Yet that person had 2 RBIs, and they won 2-0. What a shit show. So that hurt. We'll look at the tracker of yesterday. We had Nats first 5, absolute bust. The Diamondbacks came out like gangbusters and just kept scoring run after run after run, and the Nationals didn't get any. So that was an absolute bust. That Phillies first 5 minus was a little sweaty, but not bad. We ended up getting it 1-0, and the Phillies had an absolute epic comeback. Bottom of the ninth win. It was a sweat-free bottom of the ninth win. Actually, they were down 2. Schwarber hit a home run in the 8th. Then they just came out in the bottom of the ninth, and Harper ripped a single. Bohm got a single, moved Harper over to the third. I mean, they just kept hitting. They won with no outs. So that was pretty cool. And let's see, Dodgers run line. I don't know how the hell that hit. That was Bueller came out and was just serving meatballs. It was all you could eat meatballs at Coors Field, and they were hammering him. And somehow the Dodgers score 7 runs in the top of the ninth that included a grand slam and a 3-run homer, and they win by 2 and cover. So, okay, whatever. We'll take that. So that was a win. Our parlays, like I said, Houston absolutely screwed us. And then on our pitcher prop here, Houck, easy, sweat-free. Nola, sweat-free. Suarez got to 3. Dude just couldn't throw a strike. He had so many hitters 0-2 and just walked them all. He had 5 walks. Just didn't even get through 4 innings. Just an absolute bad outing from him in terms of control. That should have been an easy cash. Dude was sitting at 3 for a while. So really, I felt pretty good we were going to hit that. You know, every hitter in the 4th inning, he had a Mo2 and fucking walked them. So there's that. Like I said, Houston screwed us there. Otherwise, we're sitting pretty good. Twins had a nice little comeback. Obviously, in this one, this was our fun ticket. Nationals sucked. Twins had a really nice comeback. That was cool. And then Dodgers had a good comeback. Philly had a good comeback. So, like I said, I handicapped 9 teams. I handicapped like 12, but I had 9 that I liked. 8 of the 9 won. Like I said, unfortunately, Houston, I had them ranked number 2. They absolutely hosed us. So I'll give you guys my rankings today. We'll talk about best bets, and I'll go over kind of how I see my confidence ranking in the teams. So start here. Tigers Braves. Interesting game. We have not seen offense in this series whatsoever. Braves won 2-1 last night. Very sweaty game there. Great pitching matchup today. We've got Skubal going up against Lopez, 2 guys with sub-2 ERAs, just have been absolutely on fire. I thought Lopez was going to get banged up a little bit against the Orioles in his last start, and he just dominated them, absolutely dominated them. Now he's going up against the Tigers, who are still trying to find some offense to help Skubal. It's amazing Skubal's 8-2 with that offense. So should be a really good game. Not one, I don't love this game in terms of who's going to win, just because, like I said, we just have not seen any offense this series whatsoever. You could play the Nerfy at -160. I think that's probably the easiest Nerfy on the board today, but it's so juiced at -160. You'd have to pair it with something. There are some other good pairs. I've got those listed too, so could be an option if you love the Nerfies. A couple bets I like here. You can do Braves first 5 over 1.5. I've got a few of these today. There's a few of these interesting first 5 over totals. If you think the Braves will get to Skubal. Some teams have. I don't have a ton of confidence in the Braves offense the past couple games. Like I said, they're such a roller coaster with their offense. But that is good. Minus 120, great value if you think they can just score two. I really like the Tigers team total under 3.5 for this game. It's at minus 130. On the season, only averaging 4.19 runs. I don't think they tear up Lopez. I just don't think this is the team that brings his, if we look at his FIP, it's at 73, xFIP's 91. So at some point we should see some regression. His StatCast numbers just aren't good. He's ranked about 255th in StatCast. Conversely, Scooble's, he's a top 35 guy. So Lopez just doesn't have great StatCast numbers, but he just continues to get it done outing after outing after outing. So continue to back him here. If I had to choose a side, I would go Braves money line just because simply I don't trust the Tigers offense, and no one's really gotten to Lopez yet. So that's where I lean. If you want some props, Lopez is over 5.5 Ks in 6 of his last 10 home starts. Like I said, against the Orioles, just absolutely dominated them. Blew through this line pretty quickly. And then Scooble, I think most people were on the over. His over in Ks is it's like minus 140, minus 135. But he's actually been under 7 Ks in his last 4 away starts. So something interesting there. Another prop you can look at is earned runs. So Lopez's line is 2.5 against this offense. It just feels like it should be 1.5. It's a little juiced at minus 169, but as you can see in his last however many home starts here, he's not even touched that line. So could be a good one. We look at Scooble away, though. Actually, against Houston, he gave up 4. Against Kansas City, he gave up 4. So I would say similar offenses when we look at Kansas City, Houston, Braves are all kind of streaky. So could definitely see Scooble potentially giving up some runs here. So that's why I kind of leaned, kind of like that, first 5 over 1.5 team total for the Braves. But other than that, not probably going to have any money line plays here, but I did put them in the rankings. All right, next game. Interesting game, Reds and Pirates. Hunter Green pitching really well lately, going up against Mitch Keller, who's pitching really well lately. Not a lot of runs have been scored. I think if you've played the under every game so far this series, you would have hit. I'm shocked this is at 8. I could see at some point this getting dropped down to 7 if it hasn't already. I think the under is a pretty safe play here. I didn't have it listed, but under's pretty good. Nerfy's at minus 145. Could be a good dance partner to that Braves Tigers Nerfy. And then there's some other ones as well. An interesting kind of prop I saw was both teams to have 1 run within the first 5 innings at minus 195. You could do that. I think that's could be an option if you have some confidence there. Let's see, first 5 under 4.5. I really like this one. Like I said, we just haven't seen a ton of offense, and I don't think that happens today with the wind blowing in. That's at minus 130. Feels like that should be a little bit higher, so that could be a good steal. Ultimately, I like the Reds money line. You could go Reds first 5 too. I like that too. Pirates just have not been hitting, and if we look at Hunter Green away, he's been a pretty good pitcher. We look at Mitch Keller at home. He's been okay. He's rocking, about a 3.5 ERA, somewhere in there. Keller's definitely been better at home than he has been away. But ultimately, I like Reds money line there. If we look at Green, his line's at 7 Ks. He's under in 67% of his away starts this year. And then we talked about first 5 money line. The Reds bullpen is absolutely at a massive advantage here over the Pirates bullpen. So if you want to go that line, I go Reds full game. They did use Diaz. They used a couple of guys last night, but overall both bullpens are fairly healthy right now. So lean towards Reds money line here with Green on the bump. All right, next game we've got Kyle Gibson, who I've been fading, but my God, he has actually been pitching quite well. He just came off of I think he had a kid or something like that. So this is his first start back off of leave, going up against Yanni Chirinos. Basically, this is a Marlins bullpen game. Yesterday's game was wild. Actually, the first 2 games of the series have been wild. They've gone into extra innings. Bullpens are a little taxed. I think Gibson's going to get a little runway today. I think Cards put up a shit ton of runs. I mean, I think the line, it was at 192. I think it's down to 175 actually right now. So this line's dropped pretty massively this morning, which is interesting. But I do like the Cards here in this spot. I really like Gibson over 4.5 Ks at minus 160. If we look, he's gone over that line his last 5 away starts. So this is what he's done his last 5 away starts. He's at 9, 7, 6, 8, 6 against a Miami team that just frankly sucks. So a lot of Ks. Really like that pitcher prop right there. Again, a little juiced at minus 160, but you could pair it with something else. And I've got another one that I really like. May not be too popular, but it is something that I've already bet on. So I think Cards in this game, if you're looking for a little juice, you could do -1. You could do run line. I just think they are going to, they should dominate Miami today. We've seen Miami 2-8, man. They ended up winning last night, but they're just not going to win today. So pretty confident in the old Cards to get it done. They might actually move up in my confidence list, actually, the more I talk about it. Next game on the card, we've got Phillies and Padres. Good old Padres. Love fading the Padres right now. And that doesn't change this game. Anything Phillies again. Just repeat what I said yesterday. You want to do first 5. You want to do run line, money line, right? I love Matt Waldron, too. Knuckleballer. I love watching knuckleballers. But going up against Ranger Suarez, who's 10-1 on the year, it's just, I mean, this is going to be a college team playing a junior varsity high school team. This is kind of the way I see that working, right? It's not going to be a blowout, but it should never be in doubt, for being honest. Couple things you could go with. I mean, you could go with the under, but the wind's going to be blowing out. Under is heavily favored. I'm just not going to do it. We know at any point the Phillies can just explode for 10 runs, right? So I don't love it. A prop I did like is Waldron over 1.5 walks. It's at -148, so a little juice, but not terrible. He's over that line in 6 of 8 away starts, and then Suarez over 4.5 Ks at -135. I mean, if we look at what he's done at home, he's over this line in 5 of 7, and he's not just over it, he's blown through it. So it's kind of one of those, and some of these where he's gone lower. The Mets, he was in London. Actually, I don't think that was the London game. That wouldn't be a home game. And then this one, he came out of the game early. So this is when he had something wrong with his hand. So really, you take that game out, he's gone over in all but 1. So really like that prop today. It's actually a phenomenal prop, I think. I think that might be one of the better pitching props out there for the value today, actually. But ultimately, like I said, Phillies, you could play money line if you want to play it safe. -170 is a little juiced. I'd probably take like -1 if you really want to play somewhat safe. But I like him get the job done here. I hate this game. I put ugly game. That's the only notes I have. I don't like it. I don't know if it's actually going to be Spencer Howard pitching. I don't know if that's official. Kyle Hendricks is a fade. This dude's got a 9 ERA, although when he played the Cardinals last week, whoever they were pitching got hurt. He came in and actually threw like 5 shutout innings. So this series just been a shit show. Absolute shit show. Wind's going to be blowing out again. If you want to do the over, you can. It's gotten juiced up. It was 10 yesterday. 11 today. I just don't trust either offense. So little leery of that. I'm just going to completely fade this game, to be honest. Not going to have any bets whatsoever. It's just you're flipping a coin there. I guess, if you want to pick a team, go Cubs because they're 20-16 at home. Giants are not as good away, and we don't know necessarily who their pitcher is going to be. But personal recommendation, stay away from that game. Diamondbacks, Nats, we've got Fat going up against Patrick Corbin. It is Patrick Corbin Day. It's like a celebration. Whoever is going up against Patrick Corbin, I just take that team. If you do that, you're highly profitable this year. He's terrible, not good, and I expect the Diamondbacks to roll him. My only concern is Fat on the road is not good. Close to a 6 ERA, has been getting hit. That said, Nationals have been hitting pretty good the last 14 days. So I like D-backs. But again, could be one of those. I mean, I feel really good about the Diamondbacks. I have them ranked pretty high, probably too high if I'm being honest. This might be one where we go back and revise it a little bit. But I just Patrick Corbin's so bad. So I like D-backs first five, money line, however you want to play it. Their bullpen isn't great, so that usually you want to go towards first five in that situation. We're just hoping that the Nationals don't hit Brandon Pfaadt. But you know what? They didn't hit Slade yesterday, and Slade is so much worse of a pitcher that I feel really confident in that. All right, next game, Mariners Guardians. Very, very little confidence in this game. Very, very. And if I have a lean, it's towards Seattle. I leaned Guardians yesterday. McKenzie got roughed up. They just fucked him up. He was in a fight and he lost. And Wu has been stellar. I mean, this dude's got a 1 ERA going up against Tanner Bybee. Yeah, I lean Mariners. You could go first five under 4.5. I mean, two pretty good pitchers. Wind's going to be blowing out a little bit, but it's not much. So if I were to play anything in this game, it would be the Nerfy or first five under 4.5. I think that first five under 4.5 is probably my favorite. Should be pretty good. Two really good pitchers going at it. All right, Yankees Orioles. Garrett Cole making his debut, so that's why all this is blank. He just made 2 rehab starts where he threw, I want to say 50 and 70 pitches. So we know he'll be on a pitch limit today. It's supposed to be around 80 to 85. That's supposed to be where his pitch limit is. I like the Yankees money line here. I think they roll with Garrett. They did quite well yesterday. Cade Povich, not a stellar pitcher. So I think the Yankees get to him. So really love Yankees money line here. It's just a little juiced at minus 170. So that's a little tough, right? Just because we know Orioles can come out and put up some runs. But going up against the reigning AL Cy Young, now his prop line's 5.5 for his Ks. It will not be this next start. This is really low. Now that said, I love the under. The under at plus 100. Why do I love it? Because over the last 2 years, when he has pitched, right, we look at his K line, this looks amazing. You see this and you think, why the hell are you leaning under? But if we look at Garrett Cole under 90 pitches, he has not hit this line in 2 years. So Garrett Cole under 90 pitches has not gone over 5.5 Ks. So that's why I love it. And he's coming back. You know, this is only really his 3rd start. Command's probably not going to completely be there. I just don't see a ton of strikeouts from him. Could be wrong, but like I said, looking at the stats, has not hit that line in 90 or less pitches. So I think that's a really good edge there. That is one that will be on the card that I did already put a bet in on. All right, next game, Red Sox Blue Jays. The Red Sox just keep getting disrespected in this series. We've taken them the past 2 days. They've won, had a really nice comeback win last night. Plus 110 today. That's probably moved. I would say it's been a little bit. I imagine that line has to be shifting more towards the Red Sox, but love the Red Sox in this situation. Only concern is Bello. Bello historically has not pitched phenomenal against Toronto. He has not pitched great this season. Overall, he just has 1 or 2 bad innings, right? Like he'll string together 3 or 4 really good innings and then he'll have a blow up inning or a slight blow up and then a decent blow up. So that's concerning. Gausman has not been good at home. He's been quite bad. 6.44 ERA last 5 home starts. He's historically struggled against Boston. He struggles against right-handed batters. Red Sox were projected to have 6 right-handed batters in the lineup, so really love that. Probably my favorite prop of the day is Red Sox first 5 team total over 1.5 at minus 125. Just terrible line there. I wouldn't be shocked if they get that in the first inning or 2. So really love that prop. I like Red Sox money line. Their team total over 3.5. Like they should get to Gausman. They really should. I mean, if we look at earned runs, this is at home. We see that Gausman hasn't been under 3 in his last 4 starts, and he's going up against a superior Red Sox offense, right? He faced Minnesota when they were struggling. Tampa Bay's been struggling all year. Baltimore, we know they're good. And Cleveland, they actually struggled in that series, and they still scored 3 off of him. So I like that. Now, conversely, we look at Bello away. It's not pretty, right? So this is what concerns me about going Red Sox money line, and where I lean more towards this Red Sox team total. Whether it be the first 5 or full game, I think either is a pretty good bet, just in case Bello likes to serve up some meatballs. So like I said, that would be where I would go. And then Gaussman under 6.5 Ks, I think is a tad high. I think he probably gets 6. So that would be a tight one to take, but I do think there is an edge there. All right, the old Minnesota Twins scared the shit out of me yesterday. They came out and gave up 4 in the first, and then they just kept clawing their way back, ended up winning it in the bottom of the ninth. There was a rain delay in the 5th, so that was cool. And then I think first pitch right after the rain delay, the Rays deposited into the Grand Canyon. Love Twins money line, love Twins run line. There is a pitching advantage here. I know Taj Bradley has been pitching pretty good, but I expect Joe Ryan to have a day. And if we look at the lines out there, the books do too. Heavily favored to go under 2.5 earned runs. I've seen some books where he's favored to go under 1.5. So they're expecting him to have a pretty good day. Like the Nerfy in this situation, -135. Wind is going to be blowing in a little bit. Another one where Twins first 5 team total over 1.5. A little more juiced at 160. So I would probably lean towards, right, if we're getting 166 full game, I would go full game over a first 5 there, just in case Bradley's pitching well. But I do like the Twins to win. I think once it comes to the bullpen, the Twins should feast. The Rays bullpen is taxed. They are not in good shape. So I think the Rays are going to put up, or Boston, the Twins should put up a lot of runs, innings 6 through 9, I think. So really like that one. Mets and Rangers, this line just does not make sense to me. I don't understand how the Mets are -110. Going up against Andrew Heaney. I get Manaea is not the greatest pitcher, but lately he's actually had some really good form. So Mets money line, Mets run line, I think both are viable. They should hit Heaney hard. They really should. So I expect them to go to work on Heaney. And I don't think the Rangers do much. They just offensively, they showed a little spark last night. But if we look over the past, 10 days, they just haven't had any. So heavy favorite towards Mets there. Really love that. Oh, we got Logan Webb and Justin Steele. So didn't have anything on that. I think just because that line's just bad. So really love that. All right, next game, Astros. Oh, I hate the Astros right now. And the White Sox. Freaking White Sox pitcher almost threw a complete game. Made it 2 outs in the ninth, and then they pulled him. This game, you could go Nerfy, Hunter Brown, Garrett Crochet. I think Crochet should easily get it. You could look at Crochet over 6.5 Ks at plus money. I really like that. This is Crochet at home. He's been over that line a lot. 88% of his home starts. There was only one game he didn't get it, and he got 6. So really like that 6.5 line at plus money. I like the first 5 under. Hunter Brown's been pitching really well as of late. I know that ERA can be a bit deceiving for both, but neither have just, really scored a ton of runs offensively. So like the first 5 under there. I'm not picking a side on this. I don't trust the Astros after last night, and the White Sox have a tendency to step it up offensively when Crochet's on the hill. So now when I say step it up, I mean they might score like 3 runs for the entire game. So it's just all about, can Crochet hold the Astros at bay? Probably can. I don't know. Not picking that game. That's a coin flip. Next game, Dodgers and Rockies. It's Ryan Feltner day. Very similar to Patrick Corbin. We just go with the other team. So I know Bobby Miller's on the mound, but actually hasn't been bad. That ERA is a little misleading. That's just kind of one game that was bad. He had 2 other ones that were pretty good. So I like Dodgers money line. Love the run line. I mean, you can see where the books are leaning. -1.5 is only at -130. Conversely, Rockies +1.5 still plus money. So the books clearly have a side here, and I agree with them. So money line, run line, however you want to play it. Love the Dodgers here. The sticks have just absolutely come out in the last 2 series. So Should be hopefully a pretty easy one there. All right, next game, Angels Brewers. I love this line. All my props you can see. I think this is wrong. Brewers are heavily favored, and I don't know why. Tyler Anderson at home has been absolutely brilliant. Actually, just his last 4 starts have been great. Peralta has been a hot mess. He's been getting rocked by shit. I think the White Sox rocked him. The Reds rocked him. This is just a bad line here. So another first 5 over 1.5 team total that I absolutely love, and that's on the card. Angels money line at plus 140. I don't know how you don't look at it. I mean, there's a massive bullpen advantage for the Brewers. That said, their bullpen's a little taxed. So I think you look money line Angels here. I think that's actually a really good steal. If you want to play it safe, go run line at minus 120. I love that. Nerfy at minus 130. You could take it. I just don't trust Peralta. Peralta has been a mess. His control all over the place. He's given up home runs. I just do not like Peralta today. And the Angels don't strike out a ton against right-handed pitching, so that's kind of his biggest weapon, and I think they're going to take that away today. So, yeah, like I said, Angels. This is Angels or pass for me in some way, shape, or form. I love this first 5 over 1.5 team total. Again, I could see them getting that in the first inning. So, a little too low for me. All right, the Royals and the Athletics. Royals absolutely screwed me last night. Just needed the Royals to win. I think on the video yesterday, I told you this is a sneaky spot for the A's to win. I liked Hogan Harris, didn't trust Alec Marsh, and all of that came to fruition. Alec Marsh was just, just serving him up. He was just asking him, "You want a fastball down the middle?" And guy shook his head, and then he crushed it to oblivion. So Alec Marsh sucks. That sucked, that game. They came back. Royals had bases loaded in the 8th. Just could not get the job done. So today is a new day, going up against a terrible pitcher. Cole Reagan's on the hill for the Royals. This should be a slam dunk. Athletics got their 1 win. Now they'll go back to losing 4 or 5 more in a row. So Angels money line, Royals money line, Royals run line. However you want to play it, money line, run line. I think both are pretty good bets there today. I just wish they could have won yesterday. So let's look at the tracker here. We'll talk about best bets for today and teams I like. We might shift this a little bit, our rankings, but straight bets, I like the Braves Tigers first 7 under 5.5. That's an interesting play. First 7 under 6 runs. We just haven't seen the offensive output. Like I said, Scuba Lopez just feels like a really good spot. Angels first 5 over 1.5 team total. We're betting that. Red Sox first 5 over 1.5. Like I said, I feel like they could get this done in the first inning. I don't think it's going to take 5 innings for them to get 2 runs off of Gausman. Tigers team total under 3.5. Love that. Like I said, on the year, they're only averaging 4 runs a game going up against a superior pitching staff. So I think they'll probably get 2, maybe 3 runs in this game. And then we've got Garrett Cole under 5.5 Ks at plus money. So put a unit on that. Parlays for the day. We've got Twins, Phillies, Diamondbacks at plus 299. And then we've got Mets, Yankees, Cardinals plus 376. That's probably my favorite today. Really like that one. And here you can see kind of how I've got the games ranked. There was some games that I'm just not touching today. Twins, Phillies, Diamondbacks, kind of my top 3. Diamondbacks, I'm shifting on that a little bit, right? Again, that's just a fade on Patrick Corbin. Maybe I could see them dropping down to like 6, if I'm being honest, but still in my top 6. And then we've got Dodgers, Cards, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Reds, Braves, Mariners. The Braves, Mariners, that scares me. Like I said, we're not playing that. So if we're talking about money line parlays today, it's going to be on these top 9 teams. So the rest I don't want to touch. And then, like I said, some games I just would rather veer away from today. A little bit of a trappy spot there. Yeah, that is going to do it for today's picks. Hopefully you guys get something out of that. Let me know. And I will catch you guys on the next video.